Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cynthia Sierra, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I kind of realized that most of my videos are like straightforward and head on. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like this type of video or if you want me to kind of move back. It is nighttime and I am a working mom, and so I have to fit in a video whenever I can. And so that's why today we're going to be doing it in my room and in my bed, which is kind of where I usually do most of my videos. Today we're going to be talking about a heroine in the Bible. We're going to be talking about Abigail, so stay tuned. So it has been a hot minute since I did a video on a heroine of the Bible. I've actually only done one, and the one that I did was Rahab. And if you haven't, go ahead and check it out now. I'll put the link up here so that you guys can get a sneak peek on that. But I just love exploring the women in the Bible. With their strong faith, they continue to teach us how to live better lives, full of authenticity and most of all, full of faith, which I know we all need. So no matter what our circumstances are, we can find ourselves in their stories. So if you haven't heard the story of Abigail already, you can definitely go ahead and check it out in 1 Samuel chapter 25. And if you want, you can go ahead and pause the video right now so that you can get a quick read on it. So this story happened in the time where David was running away from Saul. Not much is known about Abigail, but she is described as a beautiful and wise woman. Now, I don't know if I would definitely describe myself as wise. I want to think I'm wise, but she was described not only beautiful internally but externally, and she definitely had wisdom on her side. So Abigail was in an arranged marriage with a wealthy, callous, foolish man named Nabal. And so Nabal has a lot of properties and a lot of power on his side. But in this time of the story, David was in the wilderness with his men because, of course, he was running away from Saul, who was trying to get him to kill him. And he happened to be near Nabal's land. And so I'm sure he had been there many days. And so he asked his men, go ahead and go to Nabal's house and ask him for some provisions, some food, some drink, maybe some things to keep us going, right? Because everybody knew of David and they knew how triumphant he was. And so why wouldn't Nabal want to help him? So David's men went over to Nabal to request these things, and immediately Nabal was not having it. He said, who is this David that I need to give my provisions and my things for my men to his people? David's men went back. They gave him the bad news, and he was not very happy. Right off the bat, what David wanted to do was go over there, kill Nabal and all of his people. So what did David do? He gathered up 400 men and started towards Nabal's place. Of course, Nabal didn't know it, but Abigail got word of it. And so here we see that Abigail immediately came. She got provisions, more than what was needed, and kind of gave a peace offering and headed over to David. Now, David definitely saw her when she was coming, and he was this close to almost killing her. Basically, Abigail risked her life for her foolish husband. So she offered wine and grain and meats and tons of other goods for David and his men. She asked David to please pay no mind to her husband because his name is just what it means. It means foolish, and folly goes with him. And so Abigail's kind words, and I'm sure her beautiful appearance, definitely won the heart of David over, and she was able to save the day. After talking to her, David did thank Abigail, and I'm sure that he said something like, thank you so much for not letting me go with my carnal instinct, not letting me act on my foolishness, because God could have cursed him for doing that. Instead, he felt that Abigail was an answer from God, kind of like an angel who stopped him from doing something totally dumb that would have affected him bad in the long run. So, like a good wife that she is, Abigail went back to her husband Nabal, didn't tell him anything about what she had done with David because she thought maybe he needed to rest and she was going to tell him the next morning. Well, when she told him the news, he took it so hard that Nabal died of a heart attack. I don't know if that's karma, but after Nabal died and is out of the picture, David went back to Abigail and asked her to marry him. And of course, Abigail was wise, not foolish, and she accepted his offer. We see here that Abigail's wisdom and her patience and her thinking through things definitely saved the day, saved her people, and also saved David from destruction. She risked herself for foolish, silly people, and that kind of reminds me of Jesus. Jesus, in his wisdom and infinite power, decided to give his life and to sacrifice his life for foolish, silly people like you and me, for sinners who have nothing better to do with our time. And so we can be like Abigail. Sometimes we want to rush through things. We want to go ahead and make a decision right away, not knowing that maybe there is a time of waiting. Maybe if we look for direction from God, He is able to use us, and we are able to be that wise woman just like Abigail was. We may be able to help our children. We may be able to help our husbands and our families. We can definitely be a light, an example of what Jesus is to others. And so I want to praise God for people like Abigail and her actions that teach me that I don't always need to act on my thoughts or even on my feelings, but really use the wisdom and the brain, right, that God has given me. We can be like Abigail. We can learn to diffuse situations using the wisdom and the discernment that God has given us. This story also tells me that there is no spouse that is perfect. And even though her husband was foolish and dumb and totally unwise, she was still able to stand up for him. She was still able to go out there and sacrifice herself and give of herself for her husband and for her marriage and for her people. So today, let's go ahead and be beautiful, wise women just like Abigail, because these aren't just Bible characters, but they're a reflection of what we can be every single day once we choose God. So I hope that you guys are blessed. You guys definitely enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Again, this is my second video on women in the Bible. And if you did like it, or if you want me to do a specific character, go ahead and comment it below. I would love to go ahead and do something that, or someone that you guys are interested in. I hope that this encourages you to be the best you can be the best mom, be the best wife, be the best woman, and I will see you guys next time.